as said, my name's Ray Batchelor. I too am a VMC lecturer. I'll be doing some of the lectures with you this year, but I won't actually be taking any of the seminar groups. I look forward to working with you at level 5 in the second year, probably at level 6, maybe at a master's degree, who knows. The first thing that I want to do is to congratulate you, because you got a place at a university at a time when getting a place at a university has not been an easy thing. So we're very glad to see you. Part of the reason that I've been asked to do this presentation is to try and give you the chance to get the most out of the opportunities that lie ahead. Now, I'm a VMC tutor. I'm going to talk in that sort of language. There may be some of you in this room who absolutely understand that in order to become a successful, whatever it might be, designer, textile designer, furniture designer, advertising creative, artist, I don't know. You know what courses you're on. But that in order to do that, you need to do some fairly wide-ranging thinking. And you'll be doing that in your practice, but you'll also be doing it in this bit called VMC. The reason I've called this Why Bother is that I know from experience that sometimes that's exactly what some people are thinking. It's a perfectly legitimate thing to think, all right? There's no reason why you should do anything just because it's there. And what I want to do is just very swiftly run through maybe some of the issues that are connected with this, and also perhaps some of the opportunities. So, there we go. VMC. What's that? You'll find that all large institutions have acronyms, sets of letters, and you get to learn them. Well, we have VMC. VMC means visual and material culture. That doesn't tell you much, does it? Not really. It'll become apparent what VMC is. I am deliberately not going to define it for you, because it will become apparent as you do it, okay? We offer a certain amount... Oh, I'm being told to get back in shot. Hello. We offer a whole range of different empty vessels, in a way, that you can fill with your work and your ideas. So what VMC is only partly defined by us. The rest of it is defined by you and what you choose to do. I just want to tackle directly some of the rumours you may have heard. VMC, ooh, that's academic. That means you have to look at books, and go in the library and do all of that stuff. And that might not be very comfortable. And, oh, it could be the writing. It's the bit where they make you write. You remember, like, essay writing, like you used to do at school, and you remember how much that hurt. Well, it could be like that, couldn't it? That's sort of looking on the dark side. And then, yeah, they make you think about history. What's that got to do with you? You're entering into a contemporary world with contemporary practitioners in your field, and we make you look to the past, so that you might be having to consider people who thought and felt differently to you, who lived in worlds quite unlike our own, and with whom perhaps you won't feel much sympathy. So why think about them? And you might have to think, Juliet, where are you? Thank you. Yes, art history might get a look in. Juliet is an art historian. I respect art history myself. You don't have to. Why should you want to look at it? Why should you want to think about it? It's a narrow discipline. It's been around for, I don't know, perhaps a couple of centuries, a century and a half at least. So maybe we're going to make you do that, and then we might make you think about design history. You might have had a whiff of that on courses that you've come from or from schools. You know, all of this stuff that possibly it's about. And then, worst of all, most scary of all, maybe we're going to make you think about theory. That could be quite nasty, really. I mean, it's a bit abstract. What the hell is that? So, here are 5 reasons not to bother with VMC. Okay? We'll start with the first one. I came here to study. Insert your course title. Okay? Not write essays. It's not relevant to my course. You could think about that one. I've always been rubbish at essays. Now, I know that doesn't apply to everybody, but there may be people in this room who have a sense that their essay writing ability, not their comfort zone. So, not feeling good about that. It's hard, you bet. We'll get there in a moment. I don't need to know about history or theory to be effective in my profession. Maybe that's what you think. I'll talk a bit about that in a moment. Once I've graduated, no one is ever going to ask me to write an essay again. It doesn't happen in the real world, does it? It only happens in these funny places. Why would we make you do that? Well, that's what I'm going to talk about in the next few minutes. So, why bother? Why get engaged with this? Those were 5 reasons that I don't know if anybody in this room thinks them, or indeed in the world beyond. Hello, the world beyond. They can't see me in that, they can only see that. Sorry, just getting used to the technology. And there's certainly reasons that I've personally had said to me during my time here, so I know that sometimes they exist. I thought I might try and counter them with 10 reasons why it's worth bothering. Reason number 1, we tell you to. That's not a terribly good reason, is it? Not on its own. I'm reminded that whenever we learn something, and especially if we learn something difficult, sometimes you have to do things and not necessarily understand why you're being asked to do them. When do we stop learning? When do we stop being a student of some kind or another? I think probably, if anybody's serious about it, the answer to that is when you die. That's when it should stop. Up until that point, you should still be carrying on thinking about things, inquiring and learning. I have done bits of learning in lots of different places. I'm still learning. I am a student. I'm a student at the moment. I am a student of the Argentinian tango. And what this means is that I go to classes in order to learn to do this. I'm not terribly good, but I'm prepared to do it and I enjoy it. But occasionally I do things like practicing the forward ocho, which actually only followers do. And the reason that I do it is that if I then lead the forward ocho, I know what it feels like to have it properly led. So eventually you understand how these things join together. But to some extent, you'll have to take this on trust, especially at the beginning. What we do at the beginning, you have 3 years of this. In the first year, we try and shape this a little for you to give you a whole range of different types of experience, so that eventually, later on, when you get to the second year, you lead it, you shape it, you know how the stuff works. And when you get to the 3rd year and write your dissertation, you are in complete control, absolutely complete control. We help and support you, but it's yours. At this beginning stage, that's when we ask you to take 1 or 2 things on trust. Try these things out. Do them with a vigour. You'll see. Eventually, you'll see. Okay, you have to get your degree. You've come onto courses. The courses are designed in a particular way, and we have collectively designed your course. We haven't sort of done it in separate bits of the building. Our judgment is that for you to have a proper and fulfilling experience on your course, you need not only to have, and you have this most of the time, and it's absolutely right that you do, not only to have a very deep experience of your discipline, but also have a space where you can think about your discipline, but not produce work. Produce thoughts, produce presentations, possibly produce essays. We'll come to that in a moment. So it is a part of your course. And actually, the 3rd reason is that when you get to the other end of your course, it's going to alter the quality of the degree you get. If you do really well, it might be that the work that you do in VMC lifts what would have been a 2-1 into being a 1st, and that would be jolly good. It might equally be, and I'm assuming that there's nobody that falls into this category here. Let's suppose for a moment that there were somebody who was in danger of failing. It could be that the work that you do in VMC could just lift it into a 3rd, and you get the degree. It matters. It very, very much matters at that level. Okay? So that is not looking beyond the university in particular. Now, these are some of the different skills that VMC gives you a chance to do. And when I say this, I'm very mindful that many of my colleagues from the studio, from workshops are here today. VMC gives you practice in how to find things out. Now, you'll also be doing that in your studio practice, of course you will. But you get a chance to do quite a lot of this, and in a range of different ways. There are all sorts of resources that you'll need to call on. And they're not just books, although books are important. And they're not just journals, though journals can be invaluable, and we have great ways of accessing those. Sometimes it's people. Talking to people in your discipline, especially people who are practicing. Finding out how they think and operate. Getting a better grip on your area and using that to inform not only your VMC work, but your development as a practitioner. Maybe going places, maybe going to exhibitions, maybe going to shops, looking, thinking, all of that. The whole world is potentially your evidence, your database that you can use. So we're encouraging you to think about that.